Today, I'm going to be installing my Fitcamx in my Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe. This is a Summit Reserve trim, so that's why it looks like this. Let's go ahead and open the trunk real quick and see what we're going to be working with. And then I'm going to jump in the car for us to do the install. So this is just going to be a mount that I use to record my install, as I have done a prior Fitcamx install on my Ram 1500. I do know that I'm probably going to utilize a flathead and another flathead. Your camera is going to come packaged. I've already kind of taken mine apart. You're going to actually get a trim kit tool, which is this blue thing. You're going to get a trim kit tool. You're going to get your actual connectors, which is going to go into the mirror housing to draw power to the camera, which I'll show you in a second. You're going to get a USB-C to USB connector, which I believe is mainly just so you can utilize the memory card that's installed in the Fitcamx to view on your mobile device or in your dashboard, depending on your setup or phone. You've obviously got the camera itself, the housing, and mine, it already has my memory card installed. The housing is to mimic a stock mirror housing for your vehicle, depending on what vehicle you have. Instruction manual and my rear camera. I'm not going to take that one out just yet, but it does have some little connectors in there, basically sticky pads to help tie the cord into certain places. And as I'm already in the back, it is going to come and be installed probably right about there on my back window of my cargo area. And so we'll do the full install. I'll run that and I'll show you step by step. So I am in the front seat of my Grand Cherokee here, and what we're going to be doing is removing the housing that holds my mirror. And so you can see got a little bit of background light, mainly because of where I'm positioned in my vehicle, as well as the outdoor lighting at the moment. But when you buy a Fitcam, you're going to want to make sure that you get the right housing mount. So there's usually at least one, if not up to 3 different variations of housing mounts for your rear view camera or rear view. Make sure you get the one that properly will fit, so you have a basically duplicate version. So within that, if you have questions, you can obviously message Fitcam. They do a great job of responding and assisting you in finding the right product for you. What's going to happen is I'm going to use the trim piece or trim tool, the blue one that I showed you earlier, and I'm going to pop the housing off of what is basically a mirror bracket. I'm also going to be removing this front panel, and that's where that little flathead that I was using is going to come in handy, because it's able to pry in there and get some leverage. I'm going to use the blue tool to pop the trim off, and so I'm actually going to move to my passenger side to do this install. I'm going to take my trim piece remover, blue tool, and my little flathead attachment, and we are just going to come in here and use the trim tool to pop off the trim here. So really straightforward, easy to do. Before we even do that though, I should have used my little tool, come in here and just pry open the face cover. Okay, so again, this one is going to make it the easiest. It's a little tiny flathead with just maybe 2 inches of length. The reason I chose this one is because during my Ram install, getting this faceplate off was a pain in the ass, especially trying to do it with a blue trim remover tool, because it was just too long and couldn't fit in that crevice. So I've got the hard part off now. Boom, boom. And I've got the face cover off. It's got maybe 4 to 6 different little snap-ons, okay, as you can see. And now I'm just going to use the trim tool some more to completely pop off the housing here. I've got one more little tab on the right side I need to pop off. And there we go. All right, so housing is removed. The hardest part down. Okay, so now we are going to use our little attachment dongle, okay, which is going to give us power to the camera. And we are going to find its home, which is going to be right behind the camera in this, or right behind the mirror in this case. So again, trusty flathead comes to help. I just basically wedged it behind and underneath the little power here, and it popped right out. So now the secondary easy part is that is going to get installed into the dongle that came with it. And from there, I'm going to reinstall the power back into the mirror. Okay, so that's gonna generate the power to turn on the camera or have the camera active at all times. From here, we'll want to remove the face cover of the current camera. Okay, and don't worry if you break the plate cover during removal, you have a spare in regards to the one that comes with the camera. And just to save myself a little bit of effort at the tail end of this, I'm going to get my rear view camera out as well, just so I'm already running. The nice part is it says rear camera on this cord, and it also says rear camera on that cord. So if you are not smart and not savvy, you don't have to worry, because they literally tell you which one goes on what. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. It just slides right in. It's got a little nook, and you'll just connect that together. And the reason I'm doing that now is because I want to make sure that I don't have to take this thing back off here in a second after I've installed it. So from here, you've got your power that we just ran from the mirror. You've got your remaining cable that is just gonna snap together, okay? And to make sure, I'm actually gonna stop my recording at the moment and just make sure I am getting power to the mirror. So be right back. All right, so we've got our cable here. Let's just kind of turn it. You can see the display mirror, you can see the cable. So I'm gonna have to tuck all this cable up along the trim line, along the window, and then I'm gonna run it all the way through to the back here. Okay, so you can see I've already connected it up there just for the time being, just to run the cord all the way back. So I've got the rear view camera wrapped back and around inside my whole trim piece. And I'm just gonna keep rolling it right under the trim seam here to make it as discreet as possible until I've got the cord all the way to where I want it in the back window. So we've got it all ran along under here, and you might be able to see this little bit of cord right here, which I'm probably gonna just use some stickies to attach and lock it in. I've ran it behind the underside of the trim here, and then I've got my camera hanging so where I can come back in a moment and install it with enough cord length to where when the hatch opens up, it's still gonna maintain its position on the window. Otherwise, we're gonna come back up front and we're gonna continue to run the wire. All right, kind of last final steps. I haven't gotten the cord completely tucked away just yet, but I am gonna put the face covering back on the mirror housing just so I can fully get the cord situated back there with as much slack removed as possible. And then I'm going to keep trying to tuck the power cord up in here a little bit more, just to try and get it up and out of the way and inside this trim line as much as I can. So when you're putting the face covering back on, that's also a pretty easy step. You can just kind of come from the top, kind of just slide it into place, and then snap, snap, snap. As good as new. So from here, cord is up in the ceiling channel as much as I can. I'm going to try and push back as much of the power cable as I can as well. There is a little bit of space up there, so I'm going to just keep pushing that up. You can see the cord start to tighten up just a little bit. All right, so camera housing is right here. As you can see, that is going to be the cam. I've got all my cables and cords just tucked right up here. Okay, a good amount of extra cord is actually provided in this kit. So I've got some that's inside of this pillar. I've wrapped it inside and just rolled it right underneath, just with my fingers, right where you can see me using my thumb. Okay, you can actually see right there where I've got it. Wrapped it here inside that whole segment. We'll come to the back. And I've got it right here. Rolled it right here, and even tucked a little bit of it up right there. Now again, I've got enough extra cable here to what is going to end up being mounted in just a moment, somewhere about right there. I'm gonna actually sit in the back seat while I do this to make sure I set it up the right way, but it's got enough range, right, to get from there to there when the hatch is up. So I've continued to run the cable here, tucked it right in there, and gave it just enough slack to reach my rear window. Now, when the hatch goes down, let's go ahead and look at it real quick. When the hatch goes down, it will have a little bit of excess cable. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna absolutely love that cable when I'm driving, but as you can see, it's right in my rear window. I'm gonna open this up again, see what this looks like. And as a whole, cable is just long enough to give it the range it needs. Now, obviously, this does turn, so you can adjust the camera depending on the angle of your rear window. I'm going to continue to play around with tucking this cord up and hiding it more, but otherwise the fit and finish of this whole thing is pretty seamless. I mean, you're not going to notice it, and that's what's nice about this dash cam, is that you can drive around and people aren't going to think that you have a dash cam in your window. And so it looks really, really clean. It's really, really easy to install. I mean, it is a little harder than just a stick-on dash cam like that. That's my radar detector. But I mean, you can look in the mirror now and notice the housing shell there, and that is my dash cam. So that connects all the way around through the roof trim, all the way till we get back here. Again, I'm going to tuck this up a little bit more. The rear camera comes up, installs on your rear window, and you are good to go. So I have front and rear cameras connected through Wi-Fi, so I can watch it anytime. I also have this little dongle that I can remove the memory card from and either put into my USB into my center stack there and review it, or if I had a newer Android phone, iPad, something like that, I can also use this for plugging in there and watching in video. I do have an iPhone, so these connectors will not work for my iPhone, but it will work on some sort of device that I do have available at any time I need to review the video by removing the actual memory card. Otherwise, you can access it through the app, download directly from the app, and have it that way too on the cloud. So taking a look from the hood, front of vehicle, you can see I have my dash cam there tied right into the mirror housing, and you would never even know it's really there unless you're looking for it. And from the inside, you won't even notice the difference between your mirror housing and what's there with the dash cam. So as a whole, I'm very impressed. I've got my original covering, which doesn't have anything inside, obviously, the housing cover kind of connection, and that's it. Everything else has been streamlined up into that trim area, and you can't even notice it except for the rear camera in the back. All right, one last thing before I actually finish this video. Overall install of this, probably took me 15 minutes. Okay. The only reason it even took me 15 minutes was to actually run the cord along the seam. Beyond that, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I have done this install on my Ram, and because I had that experience before, I knew how difficult and what I was going to need to remove this little face cover. Beyond that, you've got 4 or 6 different clips. That is what you're going to use for the trim. Use the trim tool removal for, and then again, I just used a little flathead with maybe 2 inches of range to get behind the front face cover, pop that off nice and easy, and you're smooth sailing. Beyond that, you have one additional power plug that you will be removing from the back of your mirror, and that's where you're going to install the dongle that's going to give the camera its power. So when the vehicle is on and off, the power is going to be coming from the power that's from the mirror. You also reconnect that power back into the mirror, so the mirror still has its power, such as auto dimming and whatnot features. Beyond that, once you've connected those 2 pieces, you pretty much reinstall the housing, run your rear camera cable, if you had opted for the rear camera like I did, to the rear, reapply the face covering, which is right where my hand is, this little square piece that you would have removed, and you're done. I mean, that's how simple and easy it is. Took me 15 minutes on my Ram. It took me 15 minutes just to get the face cover off. So this install was much easier, much simpler, much faster, and I mean, you can do it on your free time really easily. And again, with just how clean this looks, aesthetically, I have my radar detector up here, which I would love to get rid of, but I do like it for its secondary safety. I like not having a dash cam visible. I just want as much of my window real estate as possible, and the Fitcamx has done that for both my Ram 1500, which again, you can see the review and install of that one on my YouTube channel, or obviously in this Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe, you can see just how fast and easy it is. So beyond that, the app is super easy to use. You just basically log in through Wi-Fi or connect it through Wi-Fi. You're able to stream, download, and save the videos from there, or you can take the memory card out of the camera itself and view it via USB or USB-C connection, and just views through the actual memory card. So beyond that, if you guys have any questions about this, how to make it a little bit easier, thoughts or anything like that, please let me know. But again, I do have this installed in my Ram, so I have experience using this dash cam for about the last year in that vehicle, and that's why I knew that when I got this new Jeep, I wanted to get the same dash cam, because it's just much cleaner, it's easy to install, it looks awesome, it works and functions great, and you have a really clean aesthetic in your vehicle while getting the benefit of a dash cam that's built right into the mirror housing that's going to be there either way. So again, if you guys have any questions, you like this video, or if you want to purchase a Fitcam for yourself, click the links in the YouTube description. Also, if you're watching this and you do not have a Jeep or a Ram like I do, don't worry. Fitcamx makes products for almost every make and model of vehicle you can think of. So they've probably got something for you. Now, maybe it's not going to be this exact same simple install that I had, but it's pretty much going to be the same, meaning they're going to have a housing. You're going to remove the housing. You're going to probably have a front-facing connection cover. You're going to remove that. You're going to basically remove the power that's set into the mirror itself, depending on which mirror you have, or no power at all, and you might have to run power, and then you're going to connect it, you're going to clip it back in, and you're good to go, and you've got yourself a really clean and nice looking dash cam. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully this helps you out and helps you make a decision on if a Fitcamx is right for you, your vehicle, and what it looks like in a Jeep Grand Cherokee.